Hello beautiful people, you're welcome back to my channel. I'm back with another video. In today's video I'll be talking about residence permit in Austria, how you can get your residence permit. I'll be talking about the documents you need. I'll be talking about who is entitled for this residence permit. I'll be talking about almost all you need to know, what kind of residence permit that will be given to you at the end of this video. So if you're new here, you're welcome. And for my old subscribers, thank you so much for coming back to watch. I appreciate you guys all. My name is Oge. In this channel, I share content on visa, study, basically all information you need to know concerning Austria. So if you're interested, subscribe. It's free of charge. Give this video a thumbs up if you find anything useful in it. Follow me on my Instagram as StyleOge. Okay, I'll be taking you guys direct to their website so that I will show you bit by bit and explain everything the way you're supposed to know. Okay, let's go to their website. So guys, I'll be talking about residence permit in Austria. I'll be specifying it to family reunification. Information about all you need to do, documents, latest updates. So I will take you guys straight to their website. So let's go. This is Austria immigration website. We'll click to go there. This is it. I don't know how many of you that are familiar with this website. This is it. This is their website. We are focusing today on family reunification. We will click here. So, this is family reunification. There are types of immigration in Austria. They have permanent immigration, they have family reunification. Okay. Under family reunification, you talk about who is a family member. Which residence title will be granted to family members? General granting requirements for residence permit. That is all the requirements you need. Providing evidence of German language skills, German prior to immigration, okay? Competent authority, that is Austrian authority. Filing an application when you are filling the application to submit. Scope of residence titles and validity. Required documents, all the documents that you need to submit for you to be able to get your residence permit. Further information and useful links. So we will start from the first question. Who is a family member? Can you guys say that? Who is a family member? That is family members in the context of the settlement and residence at a spouse, your husband or your wife, registered partners, and unmarried minors, including adoptive and stepchildren. Have you guys seen that? Note, spouse and registered partners must be 21 years of age or older when applying. That means for you to be entitled to apply for this family reunification, you must be 21 years of age or older before applying. Then the second one, we take the second one. Which residence title will be granted to family members? That is the type of residence permit Austrian government will give to you. That is red, white, red card holders or EU blue card holders. Third country national with a long-term residence title in Austria. Holders of a red, white, red card plus. Holders of a settlement permit for self-employed persons. That is if you're coming through job seeker visa or work visa. Certain holders of a settlement permit, special cases of dependent gainful occupation. Holders of a settlement permit, researchers. if you are among or your qualification fit all this, that means you are or your spouse is entitled to red, white, red card plus under the visa called family reunification. Okay? So you note all these things shall be obtained. You see, all these things are information that you need to read. Okay? He said family members of Austrian nationals shall obtain the residence title family member provided they meet the general granting requirements. We are still going to get to that. Settlement permit dependent. Guys, read all these things. They are very important. Other dependents are relatives, also or spouse or registered partners, indirect ascending line if they receive actual maintenance. So read all these things. The most important one is what I have read for you guys. Read them. As you can see, there are many. For us to save time, I'm going to skip some, so read them. Now we are talking about general requirement before you be granted for this residence permit title. We are there now. The following requirements must be met for granting any residence title. The first one, adequate means of subsistence. Okay? The third country national must have a fixed and regular income, enabling him or her to meet his or her livelihood without resorting to welfare aid from local authorities. Let me explain this before I go on. Your husband or your wife that intends to bring you to Austria must have something tangible. That is, he or her must be gainfully employed before you will be granted, okay, the visa that we're talking about. Before your spouse will be enabled to file an application that will grant you this visa, he or she must be gainfully employed without resorting to social welfare, okay, without going to leaning on welfare to survive in Austria. So the income needs to be equal or exceed the standard income rate. This is 2003 updates, guys. 2003 updates. Note it. For single income rates, you must earn €1,110.26 for singles. For married couples, that is, since you're coming through family reunification, if your spouse is already here, your spouse must be earning €1,751.56 minimum before he or she will be enabled to file for you to bring you up here. She must have €1,751.56 income, monthly income, before he or she will be entitled to bring you to Austria. Then that is for couples. Then additional for kids, each child must have €171.31 for each child. Okay, this is additional. When you add it to this, multiply it with how many children you have. If it's one, if it's two, if it's three, as many as they are, you add it to this €1,751.56. When you add it to it, that should be what he'll be earning before he'll be entitled to file an application for you to come here. He or she must have health insurance coverage. Third country national must have health insurance coverage, providing benefits in Austria and covering all risk. Family members of red, white, red card holders, e-blue card holders, or family members of Austrian citizens are usually covered by their spouse health insurance. Do you understand what they said here? Because your husband or your wife is already working here, his or her insurance covers you in Austria. But for you to get a visa back home from where you're coming from, you have to make your own personal insurance. Ask the embassy the insurance they use, depending on the country where you reside. Check and ask them, okay? Adequate accommodation according to local standard. The third country national must provide evidence of legal title to an accommodation by providing a lease contract considered adequate for his or her family size according to local level. As you guys have read it here. Okay, let's move on because of time. Providing evidence of German language skill. Can you see that? Family members have to provide evidence of German language skill on A1 level according to the Common European Framework of Reference for Language when first applying for one of the following residence title: red, white, red card plus, family member, settlement permit, dependents, settlement permit, gainful employment is exempted. These are all types of red, white, red card. So if you are applying for all this, one of this, you must provide A1 German certificate. That is what you're entitled to provide. Only basic German language skills, beginner level, are required. You guys can see that. That is the only thing that are required. As you can see. Okay? So, let's move on. Competent authorities are the German authorities. Okay? So, that is depending on the country where you're coming from, people that are representing them there. The next one is filing of application. You can see all these things, read them. They are very important. Okay, read them. For time, because of time, we'll skip it. Then the next one is scope of residence title and validity. Okay, you see, the resident title, red, white, red card plus, and family member allow time-limited settlement and entitlement the holder to unrestricted access to the labor market. So if you come, or your wife or your husband come with any of this card, that is this type of residence permit, he or she, when she moved to Austria, you don't need to go and do extra work permit. No, you're already entitled to get a job in Austria. If you come with any of this card, that is red, white, red card plus, and family member, or any of this card that I mentioned, you have access, that is direct access to labor markets. Okay? You can work, your spouse can also work. So let's go to required documents. That is the most important one. Let's rush into it, guys. The following documents are in particular required for the granting of a residence permit. 1. Valid travel documents. This requirement is waived in the case of first application of a child within 6 months after birth if the child does not yet have a valid travel document. Birth certificate. Okay? Birth certificate for children, for you, birth certificate is needed. Current photo of applicant, it is needed. And if applicable, your marriage certificate, your divorce certificate, certificate of registered partnership, certificate of dissolution of a registered partnership, adoption papers, that if you have any child that you adopted from wherever country you're coming from, evidence or certificate concerning the family relationship, death certificate if applicable, as you can see. That is that. Evidence of a legal title to an accommodation according to local standards. We have said it before. It is needed. Your spouse here in Austria needs to provide evidence of his or her accommodation where he or she lives. Evidence of his health insurance or her health insurance here in Austria is needed. Evidence of means of secure subsistence, that is pay slip, pay certificate, employment contracts, certificates of state pension, pension insurance or other insurance. All these things are needed. Okay? They are needed. You provide it. Evidence that spouse holds the required residence title. Evidence of German language skills. All these things are needed. Okay? They are needed. So, having said that, for further information and useful links, you check the fees. They are here. You click them, they open. It's a granting fee €100. Check the country of where you're coming from. The fee depends on where you're coming from. Check it out. The forms, the laws, check all these things out. Okay? So guys, having said all these things, I've mentioned quite a lot of things. We've talked about the documents required. We talk about the filling of the application. We talk about the certificate you need for your language, that is German language. We talk about general requirements. We talk about the family members that are entitled. We talk about who is the family member. All these things I've mentioned them. So go ahead and provide them. This is the letter. As you guys see, this is 2023 information. 2020-2023 information. Please go ahead and do the needful. Okay? And I'll stop here for now. Having explained all these things in details, the documents, who is entitled, and all those information I have shown you on Austria website, that is Austria immigration website, I believe that those of you that are confused, that those questions must have been answered by now. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, share this video with family and friends. Give it a thumbs up if you find anything helpful in it. And I'll see you guys in my next one. Thank you. Bye.